My witnesses for my speech, my informative speech today, people, not really or anything like that. Today I'm going to be, well, first of all, I'm sorry. Hello, my name is Christopher May, and today I'm going to be doing a speech, an informative speech on why cannabis is very beneficial in terms of health and mental health and physical health. So, what is cannabis? Cannabis is a plant that you can grow, that is grown naturally, or if you get seeds, that has, not the word strains, that has type of compound, like psychoactive compounds in them, THC and CBD. Now, THC is a psychoactive compound that is linked with feelings such as euphoria, relaxation, and sociability. It is pretty much a relaxer. It helps you calm down and helps you relax. That is just the compound that is inside of cannabis itself. CBD, on the other hand, is the same thing. It pretty much, but it doesn't give you that very high feeling that maybe THC would give you. CBD is more of a relaxer, a calmer. So say if you're having a very bad day or anything like that, and you may need something to get the edge off, and if you may not have anything, if you are a smoker, smoking would be the best way, I would say, to do it. And today I'm going to actually provide some more information on why cannabis is a healthy drug to use. Boston State did a study that cannabis can significantly reduce levels of depression and stress in the short term. But the only thing about that is that if a person does take it for long-term effects, it can cause more depression and more anxiety. So although the topic is to say how much of a benefit cannabis would be in using anxiety and other things, mental health and physical health, there is a limit that a person should use to get to do those things. About 50% of people who use medical marijuana reduce their anxiety symptoms. But as I said, they have to do it. They have to do it more short, low dosage. The higher the dosage the person uses, the higher a person has to get to actually take and it actually puts it at risk. But some evidence suggests that CBD can be helpful in the treatment. It's just that, however, more evidence is needed, more research is needed to be done for a cannabis product to be recommended to actually deal with a person having anxiety and depression. Next, going on to a study that was done by Will Meek, PhD, and it says about 35 million Americans use cannabis a lot, most of the time, and about 50.68% more marijuana smokers than there are tobacco smokers, meaning that there are more people who are susceptible to smoking weed and using cannabis because of the effects of what it would give to you, as opposed to what tobacco does. What tobacco is more of a health hazard, with possibly the cause of cancer and all different kinds of things, coughing up blood and things like that. With THC, tobacco, cannabis, and whatever form you consume it, you smoke it, you eat it, or anything like that, it seems like it's more beneficial with more people in the world that actually likes to to use marijuana. 72% of Americans say that alcohol use is more of a risk than smoking marijuana, which is true, because if you think about it, there are a lot of accidents in the world that consist of people who get into car accidents that consist of them driving. Their blood alcohol concentration levels are high, doubled, and everything. Whereas if it's not, even though it's not good to drive intoxicated with marijuana in your system, but it's more of a risk, or risk and reward in drinking alcohol, having alcoholic beverages in any kind of settings that you are in, as opposed to maybe in a social setting smoking marijuana. Next, 67% believe marijuana is less harmful than painkillers, which is a good statistic to use, because when the people are feeling pain, chronic pain in a lot of ways, chronic back pain, any pain with joints or anything, they tend to use painkillers, and when they use painkillers, they tend to actually get to use them too much to where that they become over addicted to them. So to have marijuana as a less harmful than painkillers is a good thing to say. It's very good because people don't have to run that risk of having the addiction to where if it's going to run down on their body as much. With marijuana, it literally helps you with a euphoric, good, happy feeling inside. And at least 56% of Americans believe that marijuana is socially acceptable. And what that means is more than half of the people in the country in America or in population believe that marijuana is a very acceptable drug. It's a social drug that a lot of people can use that doesn't really cause, that most feel as if doesn't cause much harm and is more beneficial to a lot of others and can actually be used out in public settings, public areas. Myself, I live in California where there actually is legal to smoke cannabis and do cannabis here. So in conclusion, what we've learned, what I've talked about is that, I've given over the facts, the statistics of how pretty much a lot of people, many people in population, 35 million people actually use cannabis a lot, and how the effects in the short term can have a great effect, but there is a danger of doing it too much and doing it a lot, whereas if you can run the risk of having depression and more higher anxiety. But all in all, I say using marijuana in terms of helping be medicated mentally or physically is a very good short-term answer. Not to say use that in long term. It's always good to go talk to your doctors and your physicians to help you find out what helps out. And even still, down the line, with the more research that will be done, you never know. Marijuana will actually be a product that is recommended to somebody who actually has chronic back pains or anxiety because it does help out. Thank you everybody for listening. I hope my speech was very good. I appreciate you for having me and have a great one.